Hi, how you doing? I'm Will Friedle. I play Eric on Boy Meets World.
And I'm Michael Jacobs, and I produced the show.
And I'm Ryder Strong. I played Shawn.
Earring, mullet, motorcycle helmet.
That guy was the extra just walked out the door there was
Noose!
straight from France.
From Noose,
Whatever, and he would come out. I love the show, and like you could barely speak English. Yeah.
And he was great. And Ben created a whole song for him that we would sing every time we'd see him. It was Noose, Noose. I was from Noose. His name is Noose, Noose. Classic Ben Savage moment. It made no sense.
None at all.
Oh,
That was Ben.
Every
Ben liked to come up
day
with the
he
little
would come-
songs.
Oh,
He didn't know what that meant.
he didn't.
No,
Had
he had to.
explain
He
it
was,
to Bill.
we were asking.
That's cool.
Almost done. Just doing my burns.
So we were already making the unibrow jokes. That's funny.
Family, especially on my mom's side.
See, this is definitely early because Eric is studying.
Nihilism is to optimism as gluttony is to Butte, Montana. Oh no.
The first hint of his idiocy.
Hey.
This set was.
Oh, thank you.
Well, this is the set because it had the beds and it was always on the corner of the stage. This is
Yep.
where you would go to sleep.
Yep.
In between.
This is where we crash out.
Oh,
What
man.
do you think you're doing?
We were learning to make you mannequin crazy.
Out my ears? Yeah, with Towley? My lucky towel? Are you insane?
Towley. I can't believe that. Isn't that a South Park character?
No, that's the other guy.
Towley is Towley.
Is she 5, 6?
Yeah, Lily is just great. She's flawless. And she's eating big bites. She doesn't know you're supposed to eat little bites.
Yeah. She doesn't fake eat.
to go watch TV right
I always stuffed myself too.
Yeah,
I
and then
had
by
to
the
eat in a
third
scene,
take,
I
it was
always
awful.
like just stuffing myself.
Well, the food was pretty good normally.
No, it wasn't.
It
In
wasn't
the
really?
cafeteria, it was disgusting. It was
Really?
always cold macaroni and cheese, Jello, and green beans, and that's it. And then there was like this awful. It wasn't even like the drink. It wasn't even like.
Oh yeah, it was like orange juice
Orange
spelled with a G.
juice. Oh, God,
You know?
so
Rusty
bad.
gets to eat ice
Pardon
cream.
me, Eric, for breathing your lucky air.
Good one, Ryder.
Would you like some breakfast?
Way to get him. Oh,
I remember you had this thing with jeans. Do you remember that? Like there were 3 or 4 pairs that you wanted to wear all the time.
in real life or
Yeah.
on the show?
In real life.
Oh yeah.
And then I had that one pair of jeans that
You gave 'em to
I
me.
know. Eventually, after they were like,
They were
I
wonderful.
had them for like,
Jenko jeans or what were they?
whatever it was. I forget. Eurofunk. That's what it was.
Good old Eurofunk jeans.
I loved working with Bill. Working with Bill was just some of the most fun I've ever had in my life.
Well, it's funny because originally the idea, of course, was that Ben
Feeney, I'm
would
not
be on the
ready.
other side of the fence, and then
Eric,
we
I
thought that
once
you and
promised that
Bill
I
were
would
also
never
this
reveal
great
this to
couple.
any
They were better polar opposites.
Yeah.
You know, they played off each other better as
It was
characters.
just so. I think a lot of it really started. Really came together with the opera episode. We were
Yeah,
sitting there
yeah.
and watched the opera together.
Well, listen, on the last episode, when you all said goodbye to Feeney in the classroom,
Yeah.
we saved Ben for last, of course, but when you said goodbye to Feeney and you were the only one that would just shake his hand without hugging him,
That's right.
it all played beautifully.
Yeah.
Because the
Man, that's
relationship
hard.
worked so well.
Laying down sod, planting a tree or 9. If you would help me.
I always remember they always did stuff with our hair. Like we always had hair jokes.
Oh yeah.
Remember that? Because it's like always like putting your hand through your hair and.
Well, that became like a thing
Yeah.
too.
Well, you know what the funny thing is that
Trademark.
Ben's character, you look at him in the sweatshirt,
Home number to
it,
students?
it wasn't that cliche. So that he's had a character in a sweatshirt as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
His teacher, and only his
Well, your
consequence
hair
of
looks a
living
little
next door.
darker there.
That you know why?
I'd like to know.
This
Doug.
was actually there's a story about this. It's because I went to Lake Placid. Remember to? Oh, by the way, that's Jason Marsden, who plays my best friend, who is my best friend in real life and still is and has been since we were 16. I'm gonna be his best man in about a month, which is
come on,
kind of
that's
interesting.
impossible. You get
Oh,
to
Jason's
getting
getting
married.
married.
Jason's
That's
getting
great.
married, and I'm giving my boy away. Which
Who
is
is he
kinda fun.
marrying?
He's marrying.
Cheesy
Well,
Mad
Jason.
Jews.
First of all, we should say is not the tallest guy in the world. He's about
Eric,
5'4",
get
and he's
some
marrying
sleep.
like a 6-foot-tall
Been up
blonde
for
who's just
days.
the nicest
Keep
girl you've
falling.
ever
Makes
met in your
perfect
entire
sense.
life.
Couldn't get into
So
clown
I'm
college.
getting a new sister, which is
What, a
I can't
four-year
wait for.
school?
But about the hair, no, I went to shoot that thing with Nancy Kerrigan. Remember?
Right.
In Lake Placid,
Brain
and
needs
for some
oxygen,
reason
Steve.
they
There's just not enough
darkened my
oxygen in
hair
here.
to match the skater as opposed to
But there's
lightening
some
the
out
skater's hair to
there.
match me. So that was David Kendall having me darken my hair.
Oxygen. Good old H2O.
Well, explain it to me. They darkened your hair to match
The
her?
skater.
No, to the skater who
His
was skating
double.
to
His
my
stunt
double.
double.
My
Skating
skating
double.
double. So instead of lightening his hair, they darkened mine. Which
That
I
was a
thought-
crazy dream sequence where you were.
You see how I
Nancy
got you? You
Kerrigan.
see how I got you to explain
See
to the
that? Oh,
audience
okay.
what
I
actually was going on?
think that's what I meant. So that was a fun time with Nancy
Matthews.
Kerrigan in Lake Placid in 2-degree
SATs
weather.
this Saturday, hmm?
Down by the
You're in the
corner.
window. The dog has freedom.
No leash.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, see? Oh.
Just having a great
This is
time
like,
barking.
you know,
at
the
me.
Alan Alda in 6th season of MASH.
Yes.
Oh, I know that dog. It's a stray. He's probably barking because he doesn't have a home.
He doesn't need a home.
That's what he's saying.
They started putting Ben in a lot more Philadelphia stuff.
1 year we
Yeah.
did that.
I remember that because it's in the opening scene of this.
He's
He was in
happy
a
out there because he's free.
what the
No one's
football
rubbing his
jersey.
nose in a
We
car
wrote
when he's saying,
scenes like
"Don't
that.
do
We,
that."
you know, we would write a scene like this, and
You know,
we'd
he
watch
looks
it, and we'd be
lonely.
so proud of it, and we'd go back to the
And
room
cold.
and say, "Why are we never nominated
He
for
looks like
Emmys?"
he doesn't-
I remember filming this episode. This is one of the first really dramatic sort of, all the Shawn drama stuff. Ran away from home, 15 times, but this was one of the first real ones. Because then I tried to run away from his house the entire
right.
next season.
That's right.
Bad kid.
You're just running.
I'm just running.
And overcharge him serves him right.
This one takes off.
He was a great character for Shawn. You know, the two of them sort of
Yeah.
Tony's character.
Well, it's because it was done in such a way where, you know, a couple steps in another direction, and that's what Tony would have been when he was, you know,
he's
you
staying
could
with
tell he
exactly.
was Sean.
Exactly.
This must have been a fun character to play, though, Ryder.
Oh, Shawn?
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. It was so much fun.
Toenails at the dinner table. I don't appreciate all the dirty looks.
I think Sean had more depth than any other character on the show. I mean, there
Well,
was just
the
a whole
funny thing is, I'm listening to you
backstory.
guys talk about, you know, the Fonzie character. You know, it was no secret that I grew up watching Happy
Yeah.
Days, and this, so I always was very proud that this was sort of a similar show and that it taught moral lessons to a generation and now another generation. But it was always Shawn
Yeah.
that was the Fonzie character.
It's funny, somebody told me that yesterday, that they thought that our show was like the Happy Days of this
That
generation.
was probably me.
No, it's actually, for the first time, it was somebody that wasn't you.
Nice eyes.
But the thing was, at the beginning of this episode, when you saw Betsy and Rusty trying to parent Shawn, just as Tom
Mr. and Mrs.
Bosley
C,
and
yep.
Marion Ross, yeah.
enjoy being with you? Do we always have
She's my
fun
neighbor.
together? Then yes.
Marion Ross is your
Yeah.
neighbor?
Jonathan,
On one side and then Squiggy on the
listen
other.
to me. You are a good,
That's
gentle
David
man.
Lander.
Yes.
And I
Yeah.
could spend the rest of my life with you and have children with you.
You're
and
living
know
on the
they will
Gary
always
Marshall
be
block.
taken
I am.
care of.
It's we were all on
Hold me
sitcoms and now
at the
aren't.
same-
Street.
Now, that is something
That's terrible.
that
This is the episode where they break up because of me.
Yeah.
Because he decides to let me into his home.
She was great.
It's always very tough for an actor to break up with a regular. Because what that actor knows is you're going to stay and I'm not going to stay.
Exactly.
So they really don't put their heart into the
No.
breakup.
I am. Don't you feel?
This is a great set, the apartment.
Yeah.
Basically the same set for the later apartment.
Later apartment.
Look, this really
And that's what we told them too. We wanted to
The same
duplicate
sort of
that set
feeling.
without duplicating that set.
And that's the same fish tank with the dead fish
It
from
is
the
the fake
apartment.
fish.
Hey,
That's
congratulations.
my jacket, right?
No, Shawn, it's still Miss Tompkins.
Oh, I'm so sad that jacket got stolen from me.
Who stole it?
It got stolen out of my car in New York, in Brooklyn.
No.
It's like the biggest. You know, I have very few objects that I'm really attached to, but that's like a big part of me is that jacket
They
from
stole
this
your
show.
jacket?
It's gone.
The cool jacket's gone?
The jacket.
Oh.
So sad about it.
Because I got more to say to you.
Would they have yelled at you like this?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Would they have told you how
listen?
stupid you are for being outside?
What is
Remember
that?
that?
We stole that.
We
We
could
stole
not-
that in a later
No, I
episode.
don't
Would they
think
yell at
you
you like
do.
this? Isn't that where Rusty,
Fine, then I'll just get
at
out
the
of your
end
way.
of the
I thought you were
episode,
cooler than that. No, I'm not cool at all.
there
In
was the
fact, I get
alcoholic
real old
episode
fashioned
where
when
he
I see somebody
says,
that
"Do you
I
want me
care
to yell
about
at you
being
like this?"
brought home
That's
by
right.
cops.
Remember?
Yeah.
Mr. Trinity,
must have
you
thought it was
to yell. I've
effective.
had a real-
Why is he coming down the steps like that?
Because it's Ben.
a little
He's-
dainty boy.
He
started-
remembered he was supposed to be up a step.
Yeah,
As Mark,
took
he
a
came
step
down
back.
and went up.
Took the step back.
Like 9 o'clock last
See,
night.
Ben started getting into the
Well, I wasn't
physicalizations
looking
of
at my
Corey with the hands all
look
the
at
time.
this.
He always had
It's
this
so
little
great.
hand
Yeah,
thing going on.
His running.
No, but right now I do.
The Corey,
running was
his
the
Corey
best.
prance was
Corey running was
hysterical.
hysterical.
Yeah. He had these giant puppy feet,
Yeah.
and you'd hear him approaching, clomp, 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 clomp.
That's when Shawn was an alcoholic for like 15 minutes.
Actually, he tried his first sip of alcohol at Corey's urging, became an alcoholic,
And quit.
abused his girlfriend,
Quit in
and
22
quit.
minutes.
22 minutes.
But you know
But
something?
you know what tops that? Joining a cult.
Oh, that's the cult.
Meeting a girl, thinking she's psycho for being in a cult, joining the cult, and then
That's right.
Yeah.
That's the cult.
getting out of the
episode.
cult.
Well, you're talking
and
about
finding
things that
God.
happen in 22 minutes?
Yes.
Well, how about Leisha Haley?
Huh?
The Alanis Morissette episode. She writes.
Oh,
Right.
Becomes a hit
She's
number
a
one.
sweet girl, turns her entire personality around,
Becomes
has a
a
hit
huge-
album,
huge
has a
album.
failure album, turns back.
That's right. She's on the L word now.
Now Corey's lying to us. When I told
That
Chad I'd take
Odie's
Shawn
box
in,
is
I
working
didn't
more
mean
than
forever.
any of us.
God, it's true.
I'm gonna tell you.
The
Well, my
residuals
favorite
for that Odie's box.
My favorite is when they would just take a regular product but they Greek out one letter.
Yeah.
Right.
So we'd be eating, like a bag of Edos,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Whacking weeds now?
He's helping
Well, that would be
Eric
2
prepare
letters.
for the college
No, not
board.
Doritos,
No, it's all right, Dad. I got
Cheetos.
feet
And
right where I
they took
want
out heat and they made it
Promise
Heatos.
to tell me.
You
to
said
wait.
Edos.
Oh, did I say
Cheetos,
Edos? No,
yeah.
that was Heatos.
And I thought you were
Cheetos.
talking about Fritos.
Oh,
Fritos.
okay, you get to what works too.
Gee, boy, a lot of snack food
Well,
ends in Edos.
It's an Edos, doesn't it? I remember to make people dirty on camera, they use something called Fuller's Earth,
Oh yeah.
and it is just the rankest smelling.
Might as well.
like,
It's better to just
use real,
actually
yeah,
use.
go roll outside in the dirt because it's terrible.
Here's Blake. Here was the very beginning of us making you a dummy.
Yep.
Yep.
This is pretty
It
much.
really is
yeah,
it, isn't it?
Yeah, this is kind of the start.
Thank you, Mr.
I
Finney.
was
I feel better
dirty.
already.
It's funny because you were clean cut. Here's where you started to grow your hair, your costume, everything.
Yep.
And you found a character. It's a great
Of course,
character.
I'll take care of that now.
Eric was a whole lot of fun. I couldn't imagine a more fun character to
Three
play.
secrets were.
Thanks, Mr. Finney.
Did I say 3?
Oh, I love Blake.
He was
man.
amazing.
One of my favorite people to work
Yep.
with. We had so much fun together.
Yeah, he's an amazing man.
You know, I see Blake every once in a while. Yeah,
I love him.
And he is a great guy.
He was so funny because he really we got into so
There
much
he is.
drama on this show, and he
was great.
He was wonderful, but he didn't really see it coming. Do you know what I mean? Because when he started the show, he was such a comedic character, and I mean, he's clearly a professional
That's the
comedian.
thing he
It's so
talks to
funny.
me about the most.
He found something really meaningful
Yeah.
in the show because
Yeah.
we really got into it together, and of course, when he died on the show and everything, it was.
But he was back the
wonderful.
next episode.
Yeah, as
I
a
don't know if you
ghost.
guys remember this, but the episode where he died, he called me to his trailer and he was crying and he wanted to thank me for this wonderful experience.
Yeah.
And I forgot to tell him
That he was
he'd be
back?
back next week.
Oh, jeez.
And he was actually crying. He didn't
Yeah.
want to leave the show.
he was-
and
No, well, he found it really, an enlightening sort of experience to find, to push himself as an actor to
Yeah.
do this drama because he had been, sort of,
just comedy.
really categorized too as the sort of, that one funny guy. And I
Well,
think,
he does all the Adam Sandler movies.
yeah, oh, he's great. He's
Remember the actors that were on for a long time who, for whatever reason, left the show? And we did that episode later about the high school hallway that you
Yes.
don't go down that
And it's
hallway.
Minkus even saying it.
Yeah.
That's right. It's Lee Norris.
I'm not in the class. I don't have to listen to you.
Where are you gonna run
Is the
now?
treehouse gone?
You care.
no,
I was
I
beginning
climbed
to
down
think
from
I
it.
didn't care about it.
You know, I don't
Wonderful
think we had one actor come on the show who was on for, more than one episode, that kind of thing, that we didn't all get along with.
That's true.
Not one that it was like didn't fit in with us
network. We
perfectly.
had such a tight network, and it was really.
Every single Alex, everybody that came on just hooked right in with us, and it was fantastic.
But I think that, and by saying every single Alex, you don't mean everybody was named Alex. You mean Alex.
No, I mean
Desire.
Alex Desire
Right.
came when Alex Desire came on, and when Tony Quinn came on, and when Blake came on. Everybody just hooked.
What, your place?
Yeah, my place.
Yeah, you guys were great together.
Well, it was always a very funny show. It really was. But my favorite moments are always the more
Well, I'm
serious
sick of you
ones.
now, Hunter, but I'm still making the offer.
I still think Corey and Feeney sitting together on the sipping when
'Cause I'm thinking
Feeney's
I should do
sipping,
something
you
for
think it's
somebody else.
cognac,
The
but
apple
it turns
juice.
out to be apple juice.
Yeah.
Talking
Yeah.
about what it was like in the war. That was one of my favorite moments ever.
That was early on. That was the
First
third-
season.
Yeah,
Wasn't
third
that the
season.
episode
I'm not
where
trying to be.
Rusty lets Corey stay
Stay
up late
to watch the baseball game.
Right.
Yeah.
That happened to me in my life.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was Muhammad Ali. I think he was
Although it is
fighting Henry
5 stories
Cooper,
up.
this British fighter, and it was on the radio at about 11:30 at night. And my father woke me up and brought me into the room, and we listened to this. And I had a
great.
test the next day. I was like in 4th grade, 5th grade, whatever it was, and I did terrible on the test. And my father got into it with the teacher.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, that's where the story came from.
How much of this stuff came from?
A lot of it.
Really?
A lot of it came from life.
Look, I'm gonna go
So you
square
were
things with
Corey?
your dad, 'cause Ed is what the
No, I was
responsible adult
Betsy.
type would
which made it difficult for me to actually
which was interesting. I was first an architect, and then
You were listening?
Well, I was
Did you
sad
have a
about
Shawn
that for
friend?
while.
I
had to wait
did.
till a squirrel
I did
lost
have a Shawn
interest.
friend. I do have a
His
Shawn
name was
friend.
Jeff McCracken.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Corey, your folks were great and all, but this seems right.
Yeah, I think so. But, you know what this means, don't you? I mean, you're not a
Ryder's phone is
stranger.
ringing.
Yeah.
Was that your phone?
Yeah, that was Brooke.
Answer it.
It's Brooke.
Answer it.
She just left a message. I already sent her to my voicemail. We're supposed to be at the airport right now. Like,
You get your meals
Oh
regular?
yeah.
You
Brooke
get
is
your
Ryder's
shoe
girlfriend.
clean?
Yes.
Bring
For
Who
a
I
long
met
time.
on the
They've
show.
been going out
Bet on
together
Boy
for
Meets
about
World.
8 years now.
5 years. The last season of
amazing.
Boy Meets World, she was a PA.
No, my car
Oh,
for
my mom
5
and
years.
dad.
Thanks
Who
to Mike.
introduced you to her?
Well, that's funny you should ask, Michael. You did. Michael's known Brooke since we were, or since she was born, right?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's unbelievable. So you've had absolutely no influence on me.
Yeah, no.
No, you didn't start my career.
No.
Ryder was the first guy cast. He was the first Shawn that came into the office, and we were done casting. We saw another 75 Shawns, but Ryder was cast immediately.
That's amazing.
It was hard to do too because it's really interesting. You know, somebody walks in and they knock it off beautifully, and you think, "What a wonderful character! Anybody can do it."
Yeah.
The first guy, and he was, we saw
Nobody
another
else.
guy casting him.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't not even the original Eric. There was another Eric who started on the show.
We just wanted to make things hard for you.
It was nice of you. I actually missed the first audition to audition for the pilot because I had the flu.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.